Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hello Smut Squad and welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the Super Nintendo once again. And you know what? That console went on for a long time. Considering even when the N64 had been released, Nintendo just said, you know what? Keep making games. It's fine. We can have two consoles going at once. Well, three with the Game Boy line. Either way, they just kept pumping games out for the Super Nintendo. So today I'm going to be looking at some of those games that are released late in the Super Nintendo or Super Famicom's lifetime. Before we go any further, if you think I deserve it, please remember to hit that like, hype, and subscribe button, as well as listen to the weekly podcast and join our free Discord. Now, just because it's on this list doesn't mean it's a good game. Make that clear. I'm just talking about ones that did come out late in the Super Nintendo's life. So let me know if there's ones I need to talk about or memories you have with this game. Right, let's get into it, shall we? Some late era games for the Super Nintendo. Street Fighter Alpha 2. Now let's make this very clear. This shouldn't work. This should not work. Like, I love Street Fighter Alpha 2, it's one of my favourite fighting games of all time. But on the Super Nintendo, no. Street Fighter Alpha 2 had been released in the arcades and then home consoles for the PlayStation 1 and the Saturn. The Saturn is the way to play it. But then Capcom decided, you know what, put it on the Super Nintendo. But it doesn't make any sense. Alpha 1 wasn't even on the Super Nintendo, so why did they decide to put Alpha 2 on there? I'll never know. Now, the way they got this game to magically run was because of the SDD1 chip. Now, you're going to hear this one more time in this video. There are loading times, which does seem weird considering one of these consoles. I don't care. It still works. Like, let's be honest here, it's a miracle this is even working at all. Like, it plays well. But is it the best port? No, of course it's not. But for those who had a Super Nintendo back in the day, wow, oh wow, you actually got to play this. Like, I love Street Fighter Alpha 2. It's one of my favourite fighting games of all time, and it's also the birthplace of Sakura. And I've been using Sakura as my main ever since, and probably will drop that finally when Tifa comes out for Street Fighter 6. But let's be honest, this is just a damn miracle it even works. As I said, it's not the best port, but if you own it, it's probably just good for scientific purposes. I actually like to own this one. Someone send me a copy in the post. Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. Ah, the red-headed stepchild of the Donkey Kong Country series. Now, let's be honest, the N64 and Mario 64 were already out, and everyone's willies were bouncing off at that point. They're shooting off like having gluten, and if you know exactly what I mean, put it in the comments below. But despite the fact that everyone's willies had popped off and they're trying to find out where they were, Rare decided, you know what, we're going to release Donkey Kong Country 3. Why? Like, why? It's already outdated by the time it's been released. I just don't understand why he didn't release it sooner. Like, it's not going to get any attention. And it really didn't at the time. It was kind of overshadowed because of Super Mario 64. It also doesn't help that once again there's no goddamn Donkey Kong. Why? What the fudge? I understand what you're doing by dropping a Kong again, but Donkey Kong Country 2 worked because Diddy and Dixie were so cool together. But not Kiddy Kong. People hate Kiddy Kong. I hate Kiddy Kong. I've got to be honest though, it does play very well. It does feel more like the first game with Donkey Kong and Diddy, with Kiddy being the donkey character. This time though, there were exploration in vehicles, which kind of felt a bit unimportant and I didn't like it. But when you look at the bare bones of the game, the levels look great, but the other issues that Mario 64 had just kind of hurt this too much. I couldn't finish this game when I played it for the podcast recently, because the game kind of bugged out on me in the final boss. I couldn't do what I needed to do. I was like, and everyone was chatting with me and going, why can't you finish it? I had to send them a screenshot. And they're like, no, you can't finish it. It's bugged out. And while I can't fault this game for its quality, because it is a really good platformer, I'm just happy that apart from this and Donkey Kong Land 3 for the Game Boy, we never saw Kiddy again. Hopefully they were shot. Yes, I said it. Star Ocean. Star Ocean was a space adventure RPG. And this game was stuck originally for the Super Famicom, and we didn't get it for much, much later. Now, most games at the time in their RPG element were still in the fantasy or medieval, but not really space. So, yeah, although it does start off in a fantasy medieval setting, and then eventually space. So that's how those sort of games work. This game also had voice acting. Voice acting. That's insane for the Super Nintendo. I'm not saying we've got a full Final Fantasy X script, but when the characters start shouting out commands, they use their actual voice, which is insane. Your little ears would have pricked up going, ooh, that sounds quite cool. There's also great growth in the characters here, which I like when they actually put the effort into the character's story. Like Vegeta, great character development, better than Goku. This game also had multiple endings depending on your interactions, so that means you can play this till the cows come home. And it also used that SDD1 chip that made the game push its boundaries, because bloody hell, this game looks beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a technical masterpiece. I'd say playing this game, Star Ocean, and Street Fighter Alpha 2, the console will be asking you to help it put out its misery with the actual words, but I'm sure I'll probably get demonetized for saying those words immediately, so I ain't gonna say it, but you know what I'm on about. And unlike most JRPGs at the time, which were turn-based, this was a real-time battle system, where your character could move around and you can give instructions to your AI, or you can give them commands for them to follow, but you can freely switch into which party member that you want. And it's still pretty revolutionary, but it kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy XII, just without the stupid gambit system. I know I'm going on a bit of a weird thing, and people are going to go, where have you gone with that system? But I can't think of many other games back then where you can actually give your party members, or the AI, you give instructions for them to do. Apart from preset ones in Final Fantasy XII. I need to play that again at some point. Rockman and 4OT. Yeah, technically, this is Mega Man and Bass, yeah, before anyone shouts at me. But at the time, it was Rockman and 4OT because it never got released until it was out on the GBA. Yes, this was a Super Famicom game, so a lot of you are probably thinking, who the fuck is Bass or 4OT? Now, this comes after Mega Man 8 and set before Mega Man 9, so kind of like 8.5. Bass is Dr. Wily's Mega Man, and sometimes he's evil, sometimes he's very nice. He's literally Danhausen. If some of you watch wrestling, you'll get that. Very evil, very nice. But in this game, they're working together to fight a new threat. It doesn't really matter, just play the game. But it doesn't actually follow the usual route of normal Mega Man games in the sense where you pick a robot master you've got to fight. It's a little bit different from that. The characters themselves also have their different abilities. I'm going to go with the English translations because they're just easier of Mega Man and Bass, because I can't be arsed saying 4OT because I'll keep getting it wrong. Bass is the actual character you want to use. He's got way more abilities. Mega Man just has basic things, but Bass has everything. Like double jumps, mega shots. Mega Man's got a slide. Ooh. But this game was meant for kids, that's how they were trying to portray it. The problem is, it's bloody hard. Like, the enemies will annihilate you, there are insta-kills, spikes will kill you. Like, this is a really hard game. It's not the best Mega Man game on the system. No, I put that to X or X2. I think they're fantastic. But it's still a really good game. You can also buy upgrades, such as weapon tanks and energy tanks. The problem is, that's useless when you've got insta-death spikes. Who thought that was a good idea? We in the West did finally get this for the GBA, but the sprites are a bit too big and it's a bit too zoomed in. You're better off just sticking with the Super Famicom version. As I said, it still looks great, it plays well, it's just hard. So just be prepared for that. But if you like your Mega Man challenges, crack on. If your X3 was hard, you'll probably enjoy this one. X3 was hard. That final boss was bullshit. Fire Emblem Thracia 776. Yes, it's another Super Famicom game, and I will throw any chance to get a Fire Emblem game in this list if I can. This is kind of set in between Genealogy of the Holy War, so for those who don't know, in that game it's kind of set over two parts. They're both in one game, but this is kind of set in between. Here you play as Leaf, who does appear in Genealogy Hold You All, and you're like, don't worry, I had this incredibly difficult game that I had to do, but now I'm here to help you, and I'm now tiny in this adventure. But here, unlike Genealogy Holy War, which is kind of spread over massive maps, this is going back to traditional Fire Emblem when it's on smaller maps. Units can also move again depending on how many stars they have, so the more stars, the more chance you have of doing an extra move, which is very good. The problem is, this game is balls hard. Like, Fire Emblems are usually quite difficult, but this is ridiculous. You will get overrun if you're not quick enough in doing your objectives. See, in most Fire Emblem games, there might be some reinforcements, but they do kind of stop. Here, no, they just keep coming. They won't stop. They will just overwhelm you. So maybe you can farm for a little bit for XP, but eventually you've got to get that objective done, or you're going to die. You also have a fatigue meter, which is fantastic. Yes, if your characters hit their fatigue meter, they max that out, they basically can't be there for the next battle. Yippee! Everyone loves that, having your party member banned for the next game. It's like giving a red card. No, you can't do this one. You're banned for one. Great. Fantastic. I think if you're going to be playing this game, make sure you have a guide. I think that's the only way you're going to do this, really. Despite this, though, it is still a really good Fire Emblem game, and if you're a fanatic for the series, you'll want to try and finish this off. I just can't believe we've never seen a re-release of this game, and Genealogy the Holy War. I've not seen either of them. For God's sake, just release them. Put them on the Switch. I'll buy it. I'll play it. Super Famicom Wars. Now, I never knew this growing up, and I'm sure a lot of you didn't know this either. But guess what? Advance Wars didn't start on the GBA. No, it started back on the Famicom. And this is actually a follow-up game. I think it's like the 4th game in the series for Super Famicom Wars. And here you control an army. Well, one of 4 armies. And when you hear them, they're basically the same armies as the ones in the GBA version, so you feel right at home. And there are 7 commanding officers, or COs, for you to choose from, and some of them have their own abilities. It pretty much feels like Advance Wars. Because it is. It's just not as technical. Like, there are some things that were added to Advance Wars to kind of improve on the previous games. Like, there's no story here. You just battle people. Like, one of the COs is Hitler. Yes, you can fight Hitler. Some of the maps can be seen as quite basic, but remember the series was still in its infancy, and we hadn't got to the Game Boy Advance at this stage. And as I said, some of you may have never seen this or knew this even existed, and you might think about playing this for nostalgia, which you can do, but you may as well just play Advance Wars. But the 2-player mode's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, if I had that growing up, me and my brother, as I call him Raphael, would be killing each other. We'd have so much fun playing this game because both of us love Advance Wars, so we'd be hooked playing it. Like, we had Worms, don't get me wrong, we loved Worms. Worms is incredible for the Mega Drive. We were Mega Drive kids, we've explained that, that's why we have a Sonic logo, for God's sake. But having Advance Wars or Super Famicom Wars would have been awesome as well. Probably would have led some headaches from my mum. Probably would have took the console office. Like, we had enough arguments with Worms. Probably have loads more here as well. And finally, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. Now, let's get this one out the way. For those who don't know, I don't know, played this game. It is Super Mario World 2 by name only. Because other than the name, you would have no idea it had anything to do with Super Mario World. And let's also get the other problem out the way. Oh my god, the baby cry. Oh my god. Now, also, I should say, you think that's annoying? Imagine having a real one in the middle of the night. Yes, I've done this. Twice. No more, though. We're done. No more. But for those who have kids, and the Mario cry will do nothing for you. Or it's going to trigger your PTSD. You do one of those two things. For those who haven't got kids, and are preparing for kids, be warned. Just have that going for about 2 hours, and you'll probably give you some preparation. Either way, I'm going on a tangent. But in this game, the Yoshis are off to save baby Luigi with baby Mario, because... Was this a prequel? Is it a prequel? Someone's going to say, it's a prequel to Super Mario World, so of course it can be Super Mario World 2. Fine, whatever, you have your thing. Like, I have questions how the hell they got Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Like, how did we get them? Like, did they come from this world? Who gave them the plumbing degrees? There are so many questions I have for this thing. Okay, there's so many questions I have for the whole Mario world, and you can say I'm looking into this a little bit too much. I don't care. Now, the other thing I usually need to question is Yoshi himself. Yes, I can do a Yoshi impression. I'm very good at it. Yoshi eats and spits out things. We've known about this. This has always been a thing. But in this game, he basically can either spit them out straight away, or he can turn them into an egg, which he can use as a projectile. There's questions there. Now, imagine you were basically standing there, and within less than a second, you've now been eaten, digested, pooped out, and turned into an egg, and potentially use a projectile. Within, like, what, 1 or 2 seconds? How the hell does that science? Are they alive? Are they dead? What are you throwing? Like, it's incredibly dark when you think about it. Like, I know Nintendo probably weren't thinking too deep about it, but I am. Creepy bastard. But my dark thoughts aside, this is an incredible looking game, and the backgrounds themselves, there's not often you talk about backgrounds in these games, but they seem to go way beyond what the 16-bit consoles could even do. The music is incredible as well. And this is basically the start of the Yoshi games, and everything here looks like it's been drawn in crayon, and that kind of is the whole thing, because it still holds up today. If you play any Yoshi game going forward, they've all got that similar aesthetic. Essentially, the follow-up to this game was Yoshi's Story for the N64. When you look at that straight away, you can see, oh yeah, it's a story tale. It's basically the exact follow-up of this game. And this isn't just a quick platformer, there's loads to collect. You want to get that 100% so you can get those hidden bonus levels. It's considered one of the greatest platformers ever made, and if anything, it's just going to prepare you for being a parent. I'm not even lying, it really is. It really is. Like, I am not looking forward to replaying this for the podcast one day, because I will get PTSD. I'm just going to get triggered. I might save it for when my kids are a bit older, and say, this is what you two put me through, you bastards. You bastards. I love them, I do, but come on. I just need to be mean sometimes. And that's it. Some late era games for the Super Nintendo. Let me know if you have any memories about these games, or there's ones you think I need to talk about. But please leave your comments below, and remember to like, hype, and subscribe as we make our way to 9,000 subscribers. We also have the weekly podcast, where this week we'll be covering Fire Emblem Awakening for the 3DS, and I'd love to see you over there for more stupidity. Until then, I'll see you all again in a few days from the video. My name's been Danny. Take care of yourself. Follow your dreams.